I've just finished watching The Parent Trap 1998 Special Double Trouble Edition. This is the Kirk, stands for Kirkland, not Captain Kirk, Kirkland Library in the King County Library System, Washington State, United States of America. With the original, I'm Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, and I'm filming this Saturday, 30 March 2024. So this is my movie notes for viewing today, Saturday, 30 March 2024. It's a 1998 film, The Parent Trap. There was, the original I have actually seen, I think only once, and I think it was, if I'm recalling correctly, black and white or grayscale. But this is not that, this is the 1990s one. And it's a fiction film, genre family, about female identical twins separated when they were very young and who find each other when they are about 11 years old and execute a plot to bring their parents back together. I've seen this movie a lot. I watched this growing up. I was born approximately 1993. So this is one that entered my life when I was rather young, and but was not possible to access in the it has not been possible to access in the duration of my life. Oh, meaning it came out after I was born. And do I have any notes from this time? The squirrels go, "Mom, I thought you married the Easter Bunny." So the squirrels are, well, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say, so the squirrels were very into this one today. They like Ponderosa is a male squirrel. He was in the critter mealtime from earlier today, the dinner one. And he was on the back porch looking in the window. Like, there's still a little bit of deck remaining right next to the door. So he was standing, and he took his little hands, and he put them over his chest, and he looked at me, and he bent forward a little bit. And I could feel his little squirrel telepathy going, "You're part squirrel." And so I was thinking about that when I was watching this. They were like, "Mom, didn't you marry the Easter Bunny? Do you remember marrying a pure Arabian stallion Easter Bunny?" And I go, "Are they identical twins too?" Yeah. But I'd say in this movie, I enjoy watching it, and I actually continued to watch it longer than my sister continued to watch it. She kind of burned out on this movie eventually. I didn't and have not. I think one of the standouts for this movie is that the technological notes that are hit, while the technology has changed, the underlying principles, like not having one's phone work because of cell phone reception or lack thereof, or taking a picture when somebody does something that's not so flattering. I was like, that's still true. It might not be a film camera, like in the movie, or a disposable camera or something. It might be a phone now, but the underlying concepts are still true. So I thought that in that sense, they actually did a very good job on execution. I think the highlight here is they did a really spectacular job on casting. I think the only other performance where I would say there's a woke actress playing a villain and like perfectly executing it be Meredith Blake in this movie. It's the actress who plays Meredith Blake, who's kind of the female villain in this movie. And the only other actress I would say who is on par with this performance in this movie for that is Anne Hathaway in Ocean's 8. Yes, that's it. I've waited a long time. I watched this and I was like, that casting and that acting is so good for the role. I was like, I wonder if anybody will ever come along that actually hits that woke actress mode just perfect. Just so, and Anne Hathaway did in Ocean's 8. But to date, there's the only two. It's not even a full hand. It's only two people, two roles, two performances, so to speak, that make my list for the woke actress category. Perfectly executed in a at least semi-villain role, depending on how one views the character. And so there we go. It's kind of like my big note. I still enjoy it. It's a more of a tactile movie than a lot of movies these days. I think the storyline allows for it to be. A lot of things these days are computer generated or green screen and then added in and stuff like that. So I think this is kind of a perk of doing an actual set, is it comes through in this movie. And then let's see, I was gonna, oh, last thing, there's fencing in here, which actually, since I did the fencing club briefly when I was in community college, this did not, the fencing scene here actually did not play into that choice. That was more, I actually liked Die Another Day, the James Bond movie. I liked that fencing. And I liked sword fighting more, but like, that's like a real weapon, so then there's fencing. But it was still something that was, when we watched it, it was kind of like, who has the resources to go fencing? It was kind of like, that's something that was like, my sister and I even went to camp. There was no fencing, you know, that kind of thing. So I was just like, so it was like, it's something that used to be a cultural norm or a military norm with none other than sword fighting, and then just to have it in this movie was kind of like, it's a reminder there are people in the world who actually do that. So yeah, there we go. That's my movie notes on The Parent Trap, 1998 film, 30 March 2024 viewing. I'm Tanis Leonhardi, and thank you for joining me whenever you're joining me and wherever you're joining me from.